So we've now had about a 2-day period to enjoy all of the footage from people like C-Reacts, Dododoya, pick a Dragon Ball adjacent YouTuber, and they probably got a hands-on first-person experience with the game. And one of the things that was super ominous to me coming out of that interview and gameplay demo session was the statement by Bamco themselves, or at least the developers, or studio that might fall under. Saying that they would not look to balance the game in any meaningful way around the roster, and rather characters who are strong in the series are going to be strong, and characters who might be weaker in the series are going to be weak, paying homage to the old games. But that is really scary going long term. Early on, this isn't going to matter at all. You'll probably just beat people because you acclimate to the systems faster, but as it goes later and later and you see that player base thin out, for those of you who have never played a fighting game, typically when a new fighting game releases, everybody's in. You're playing against a ton of new players, a ton of legacy players are going to stomp you every single time, but you'll play against enough new blood where you'll be able to acclimate to these systems without much friction. I'm not saying that this game is going to need weekly or monthly or yearly patches, but I would hope that they look at this game not as a hyper-competitive traditional fighting game a la Street Fighter, Tekken, Guilty Gear, whatever. Rather, I hope they look at this and try not to swing wide in this super casual approach, because ultimately the game is competitive by nature. They're going to put a rank system in it. They're going to feasibly hold tournaments for it, at least among the community. This is going to be something that goes really long term. I'm thinking in the year from now, 2 years from now space, we're all going to want to be playing Sparking Zero still, right? There's so much care put into this game that it worries me that people are going to flame out quickly. It's very exciting currently because the animations are fresh, the environment is new, the functions and features feel endless. But like I said, once you get used to them, once you strip down that nostalgia barrier, that flavor of the month barrier, are you going to be here in a year still getting on Sparking Zero regularly? And the answer is going to depend on whether they want to make this what it is, which is an extension of a fighting game, or if they want to lean completely into that casual solo experience, that what if experience, that what have you. The thing about the what if experience is I think it has a time limit, not in the literal sense, but I don't think it's forever. There's a ton of voice lines in it, but eventually we're going to see the homogeny start to form. And again, once that happens, we're going to be looking towards the modding community, like with Xenoverse. We're going to be looking towards the releases that are more competitive, like any fighting game ever. When you look at something like a Sparking Zero, and then you look at the Budokai 3 tier list that was sort of compiled by the competitive Discord community over there, you can see that some things are accurate, right? Like Broly at the top, Broly in his own tier. Perfect Cell at the top. Android 17 is sort of like an outlier if you were to go purely by what they say they're going to do. It's cool to see these characters still remain relevant. You go on to a Trunks in his armor at the top, and then weirdly now you're seeing Nova, Kid Buu again, realistic, looks like Mystic Gohan, realistic, Arale, pretty realistic, and Great Ape, Baby, pretty realistic. But now imagine a world where you want to play Perfect Cell. You are the biggest fan of Perfect Cell possible, and guess what? These characters, the super characters, the characters from 10 years, 20 years after Cell Saga released, they're looking at him like fodder, right? Like, these tiers that they're going to try to keep these characters in is so interesting because it means, to what extent are we talking? Are we only looking at the Dragon Ball Super characters as relevant? Does that mean that Gohan is basically a completely void character in Sparking Zero? He doesn't really do anything in the anime until he becomes Beast. Like, there is a downside to this that isn't just, oh, we won't get to, dominate as Babidi. I'm gonna get onto you on some real shit, because I don't know, maybe this is getting a little taxing to listen to, but there isn't really a place for this mindset that competitiveness will ruin the fun of your game. The reason people don't enjoy fighting games, I've been in the fighting game community for a long time, is because people think that they have to be a certain level of skill to enjoy them. That's not very true. People need to stop setting unrealistic goals for themselves. For some reason, someone can go into League of Legends and play 1,000 hours being Silver 2, and that's not a problem. But the moment they get into a fighting game where it's one-on-one, they think that their losses are just losses. When you play anything that's competitive, you will eventually grow tired of seeing the same meta outcome every single time. When you play a game that is competitive, that is outspoken about not wanting to be balanced, you are going to start to feel the rough edges of the design space when Gogeta is like auto parrying all of your attacks and you're wondering what the fuck you're even doing on the game. Ultimately, I'm gonna buy this game. I'm gonna enjoy this game. I'm gonna enjoy it for basically as long as I enjoyed Kakarot, which, by the way, people had a problem with. People thought Kakarot was too shallow. They thought it was too shallow a story game with its low effort mechanics and mostly just polish over function. The thing is, we've seen a lot of polish in Sparking Zero, and we've seen some function, but a lot of the things that people are focusing on currently are these flashy exhibitions, and those are going to be amazing for the first 30, 40, 50 hours. But when we get down to it, when you're not a content creator, when you are not a content creator, and you do not get to make content going to like the worst what if situations made on Sparking Zero's marketplace, when that stuff is not interesting to you because you don't need to create that fun for yourself, you're not making money playing what if mode, you're gonna wonder, hey, am I just done with Sparking Zero? Am I just throwing a few tens of dollars into a DLC pass so I can play for a day and then not look at it again? Anyway, it's a cool little rant video, cool little venting of thoughts. I really don't want to make the Sparking Zero space negative. I really am feeling super positive about the game's release. I can't wait to play it, and I can't wait for Dragon Ball to get sort of a kick in the ass and for Toei to respect the series that has made them literally billions of dollars and to stop fucking around with our time. So, you know, if you enjoyed this video, if you got something to share, if you think I'm kind of just capping, kind of just making a mountain out of a molehill or something, but leave a comment, man. Tell me I'm a big stupid idiot. Peace.